Eagle Top's in very good form. We're very much, and I've made it clear, unfortunately our supplementary system is 5 days before the race. In France it's a much better system, it's at 48 hours. But at the 5 day stage there was talk of thunderstorms Friday, Saturday, even on Wednesday. They were still talking about it Tuesday night, Wednesday, but come later Wednesday they said no. And it looks like the rain now is much more likely on Sunday. So obviously with the owners who know their family well and know the horse well, we will make a decision. But he'll be declared this morning. I'll obviously be at Ascot tomorrow and walk the track, have a runner, and then we will be making our decision. He's a very nice horse, but I didn't really want to run him twice on too fast a ground. He did it well at Royal Ascot in the King Edward VII, but he's bred more for good to soft ground, put it that way. So we'll see. The other two, Taghrooda, obviously a late decision that she didn't go to Ireland. Fortunately, she was about to get on the horse box, but she hadn't got on it to go. And from that point of view, she's in good form. She's like a lot of horses. She'd probably prefer good ground to being fast, but at the same time, I'm happy with her. And then Romsdal, who ran in the Derby, he ran a very good race there. I've always aimed him at this race, was to go run in the King George and then, all being well, the St. Leger, and nothing in between. He's an easy-moving, light-framed horse. He doesn't want a lot of racing. So at the moment we plan to declare all three of them, and I'll be very much on probably ground watch now rather than weather watch. They talk about the rain coming a little late for us on Sunday.
The fact that Paul Hannigan, the Manigan, has gone for Taghrooda instead of another of the Sheikh Hamdan horses, Muqaddam, how impressed were you with that decision? Do you think he's chosen right?
Well, I read in the paper that quite correctly, she stays a mile and a half well, and that he's not entirely sure whether Muqaddam does stay the mile and a half. He probably will. And I think the other thing is, the 3-year-old gets to pull at the weights. And Paul, obviously, that has swayed his decision. It's very hard to assess the 3-year-old form against the 3-year-old colt form, let alone against the older horses. My feeling is that the 3-year-old colt form is stronger, probably than the 3-year-old filly form, but obviously I would never have worked the likes of the colts and the fillies I'm declaring tomorrow together. I would never dream of doing that. But that's my suspicion, but it's really no more than that. And we will see. I think in the race itself, I think a horse who's been slightly overlooked through the whole thing is Magician.
Yeah.
Here is a horse finally running at his trip on fast ground. And I know to our loss, if you like, in the Breeders' Cup turf at Santa Anita, you get him a mile and a half on fast ground. He's a powerful contender. And he's run a mile and a quarter on the ground, when the few beat him. But I noticed the last furlong, he's picking up. I think he's a horse that will be really suited by conditions and a little bit overlooked.
Telescope, Sir Michael Stoutes, eventually came good in style at Royal Ascot.
Yeah, he's very talented horse, always has been. I felt great sympathy for them, the amount of pressure put on all of the connections early on with a reputation of a maiden win, and my views on that. Having said that, the horse is finally getting there, but why not as an older horse, and as I said, the great thing is the racehorses, they don't read the paper, they don't watch at the races, so consequently they're untroubled by it. It's just trainers and managers and jockeys that are troubled by it, and owners, obviously. So from that point of view, he won in great style. You cannot take that away, and that's a perfect form race to be going into this. They've done it before with Harbinger, and it's what you want to see. Mile and a half, fast ground, Ascot in the summer. So yes, he does stand out. But I do feel that, I make the point again, that Magician at this moment has run twice at a mile and a quarter. Once on ground he didn't like, once he did. And he now, back at where he wants to be, is a horse you should be watching closely of the older horses.